Hello, Joy friends, and welcome to Once Upon a Storybook. My name is Cynthia with Cynthia's Joyful Creations, and today we are looking at another true angel story from the book In the Arms of Angels by Joan Wester Anderson, and it is titled, What is an Angel? When you see God's hand in everything, it is easy to leave everything in God's hands. And that was given by an anonymous person. In August of 2003, in Kelowna, British Columbia, I may have pronounced that wrong and I apologize, a forest fire roared down a mountainside and destroyed 250 homes. More than 30,000 people were forced to evacuate the area. A few days later, television reporters and cameras followed the distraught residents as they were permitted to return and view the devastation. One woman reached the ruins of her home. At first glance, nothing was left standing but the foundation, the chimney, and a fireplace. She had apparently lost everything. Then a reporter looked where the woman was pointing. There on the fireplace mantel, sooty but intact, stood her 3 ceramic angels. The message was clear. She possessed all that really mattered. Angels are not always so obvious. Much of their activity is performed in silence. We neither see nor hear anything unusual, and if we feel an internal push, it's easy to dismiss as imagination. But there are other times when the air seems charged with electricity, and somehow we know that they have been here. Did angels have a role in the following incidents? You decide. Anna Lewick and her young family live in Kalisz, Poland, and she often asks angels to protect not only her family, but also their possessions. There are a lot of thieves in our country, she says, and when people are robbed, it can take years to replace the stolen items. One sunny Sunday, the Lewicks impulsively decided to drive to a nearby village. They locked all the doors in their duplex home, quickly put the children in the car, and left. Several hours later they returned, but when Anna looked in her purse, her keys were not there. She began to grow panicky. Then her husband pointed. "Look," he said, amazed. Anna followed his gaze. There, dangling from the lock on their fence, was her key ring with all the keys intact. "There would have been many people passing our fence that Sunday," Anna says. "Anyone could have taken those keys and stolen everything we had, but no one did. Had angels made the keys invisible? Anna does not know. But I don't think it's necessary to see angels, she says. I have felt their presence many times, and that is enough for me. Diane called into a radio talk show when the topic was on angels. She explained that she had attended a church meeting the previous winter, and during the evening someone announced that a local workman had slipped off a roof and broken his leg. "Let's take up a collection for his family," a woman near Diane suggested. "They'll be needing things he can't provide now." Someone else grabbed a bag and passed it through the rows of chairs. Diane looked in her purse. She had only a $20 bill until payday. This was not unusual. Sometimes she wished people would take up a collection for her. Nor was this roofer a member of their congregation, and weren't there others here who had more to give? "Then I felt a firm push from inside," Diane told the radio audience. "I remembered that I had been trying to develop more trust in God and His angels. I thought about the blessings He'd given me. I could work tomorrow, but this man couldn't." When the bag came to her, Diane took a deep breath and dropped the bill into it. Months passed. The roofer and his family apparently survived. Diane heard no more and promptly forgot about the event. As summer approached, she and her husband realized their vacation fund had grown enough to provide them with a modest trip. On the morning they were to leave, Diane picked up the airline tickets, withdrew $500 from an automated teller machine, added a credit card, and packed everything in her new purse. On the way home, she stopped at the supermarket for some last-minute items. "Absorbed in our plans, I must have left the purse in my shopping cart basket," Diane related, "because halfway home I realized it was missing." With everything for their vacation inside, Diane drove back to the supermarket parking lot and ran from basket to basket, but there was no purse anywhere. She hurried inside to the service desk. No one had turned it in. Diane sagged against the desk, tears filling her eyes. There would be no vacation for them now. Her carelessness had ruined everything. The woman at the service desk passed a phone over to Diane, and she called her husband. No sooner had she begun to explain than he excitedly interrupted. "I know you lost your purse," he told her, "and some people just phoned. They found it in the parking lot but wanted to make sure that you would get it back. They're waiting for you. Here's the address." With a shaky hand, Diane copied the directions. All was not lost after all. Moments later, she pulled up in front of a little house, modest but well kept, with several small children playing in back. A young couple was standing at the door, wreathed in smiles. The woman was holding Diane's purse. "Oh, thank you," Diane burst out as she approached them. "Everything is there," the husband assured her. "We just didn't like the idea of turning in lost cash. How would you prove it was yours?" Diane fumbled for the wad and began peeling off bills, but the couple stepped back. "No reward," the young man said firmly. Diane noticed he was wearing a leg brace. "See, I fell off a roof last winter," the man went on. "Oh, y'all." "I was kind of a rough character, you know the type," he grinned sheepishly. "Skirting the law, a few arrests, but people at a little church near here took up a collection for me," he swallowed, "and it changed my whole attitude." "We'll never be able to repay them," his wife chimed in. "We don't even know who they are, but we're living better lives now, and we can pass on the favor." Tears blurred Diane's vision. Without the sacrifice of others, this young man would surely have remained embittered and dishonest. She remembered that strange little push and saw herself throwing the last of her money into the bag that night, taking a risk for God, being part of His plan, and she knew it was the best investment she had ever made. Of course, angels are God's servants, not ours, and we cannot manipulate them, but we can surely ask that angels go to someone in distress, surround that person with help or love, and calm the situation. Pope John XIII frequently prayed for others in this manner. A teenager who had read about the Pope's practice watched a real-life drama on television one evening. A woman attempting to commit suicide by jumping off a bridge. Police and rescue workers were nearby, but reluctant to get too close. "I sent angels to that woman," the boy reported. "I just asked God to use angels to surround and comfort her." Within 10 minutes, the distraught woman had relaxed and walked off the bridge into the waiting arms of her family. "What a lucky break," one news reporter commented. The teen watching the program believed it was far more than that. Shalise Hickman of suburban Chicago was very close to her grandmother Alice. "My grandfather died when I was 7, so Grandma spent a lot of time with me." Alice attended all of Shalise's school and church events, proudly watching her granddaughter perform in plays or sing in the choir. When Shalise entered college, Alice came for family weekends along with Shalise's parents. She met Shalise's boyfriend, decided he would definitely pass muster, and enjoyed imagining her beloved granddaughter walking down the aisle on her wedding day. But when Shalise was a college junior, Alice died. "I was devastated," Shalise recalls. "She had been so special to me, and I had looked forward to many more years with her. Alice would never see her great-grandchildren. Worse, she would not be at Shalise's wedding." Shalise was heartbroken. A year passed and plans for the wedding began. Because it would be held the week before Christmas, the attendants would wear ruby-colored velvet dresses and carry candles within their bouquets of greenery. With seasonal decorations already at the church and reception hall, everything should be exquisite. "I am very emotional, and I was worried about crying through the ceremony," Shalise says. "I knew Grandma would have calmed me down and helped me to be strong. If only her grandmother could be there on her special day. But wouldn't she?" Shalise believed that loved ones never really leave us, but it was so hard to know for sure. Perhaps God could send her a sign that Alice was indeed near her. "I decided to ask that it snow on my wedding day," Shalise says. Requesting snow in December in the Chicago area wasn't asking for much. she reasoned. Maybe such a little wish could indeed come true. On that special morning, however, the day was dry, with no snow on the ground, and none predicted. As she, her mother, and two of the attendants prepared to leave for their appointments with the hairdresser, Shalise scanned the sky. It was blue and perfectly clear, but there was still time. "Grandma," she whispered, "please be with me today." The women collected their coats, and just then Shalisa's dad called, "Look at the deck!" Everyone stopped and went to the windows, gazing in awe. Flakes of snow were suddenly pouring from the sky, coating the brown grass, the dry hedges, transforming the dull landscape into a winter wonderland. The flakes were unusually huge and exquisite, almost as if each had been specifically woven. "Let's turn the Christmas lights on," Shalisa's mother suggested. "Everything will look so beautiful." Tramping out to the driveway, Shalise lifted her face to the sky. The flakes floated onto her cheeks and nose, each a lacy kiss from an angel. Was this the sign she had longed for, or just a simple coincidence? "Grandma," she murmured, "is it you?" And suddenly, as they reached the end of the long driveway and turned into the street, Shalise knew this early Christmas gift was real, for there was no snow anywhere else, no thick layers covering other yards, no flakes whirling and dancing in the air, no colored lights peeped through webs of white. Everything was drab and dry and ordinary. Everything except the beautiful winter scene in Shalisa's yard, created just for her. There was no hint of snow at the beauty shop, just minutes away, nor had there been all morning, and when Shalise and the others returned to the house, every trace of fluff was gone. But Shalise was serene throughout her wedding day, and has remained so. She knows now that no prayer is too small for God. Wow, those were some beautiful stories today. And I don't know, what did you think? Did you think that those were angels? Do you agree with the topic of today's story? Was it an angel? I'll leave you to your thoughts. Well, thank you for joining me for Once Upon a Storybook, and I cannot wait to meet with you again for another angel story. And until then, be joyful, everyone. Love one another, and hugs, hugs, hugs. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.